What's up, everybody? Welcome to the vicinity of Lehigh Acres. We're currently in Buckingham Farms. Buckingham's is just outside of Lehigh Acres. So I'm going to give you guys a tour of Lehigh Acres and show you guys what it's like to actually live in Lehigh Acres in the year 2022. A little bit of an update. I've done videos in Lehigh many years ago. This place has changed a lot for the better. So welcome to my hood. Now I live here in the Buckingham section, and what it's like out here, I mean, pretty much you can see this truck right here. It's got a ATV on the back, and that's kind of what happens here. A lot of ATVs, lots of dirt bikes. There's also a little river that goes through the middle called Orange River. So lots of nature. You can see there's big oak trees. It's a beautiful area near the Orange River. But we're gonna go into the city of Lehigh. Well, it's not really a city. It's kind of like a undesignated census area, basically. It deserves to be a city, I think. And I think it will be in the future. Now, Buckingham Farms is kind of like a farm and a restaurant. They're open for lunch. A sandwich and a sweet tea will run you about $20. That sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. But, you know, this is a suburban area, so crap ain't cheap, you know? You can see here they have beautiful gardens, banana trees, cactuses. There's even a giant gopher tortoise here. So I think I don't know what type of tortoise it is. It's huge. It's like the size of a baby kiddie pool or something. But let's go through Buckingham, and it'll take us 5 minutes to get out of Buckingham. And then we'll hop into Lehigh, and I'll show you guys what it's like out here. I like the Buckingham section because it's the most rural. Kind of beautiful, but there's Olga, there's Alva. So you gotta understand, Buckingham, it's a big area. It's not small, but Lehigh is even bigger. Lehigh is huge. Lehigh has it has parts that are in Lee County and it has parts that are in Henry County. Off by I think it's called Wagon Wheel or something like that. It's off of the far east side of Lehigh. It stretches all the way into Henry County. Okay, so you got parts of Lehigh that almost butt up to Charlotte County. Once you cross 80, you're almost to Charlotte. So it's a huge area. It really is. And it really, I think Lehigh deserves to be a city. And hopefully in the future, it can be managed better and turn into a city because it deserves it. But this is Buckingham, and literally, we're in downtown Buckingham right now. Here's the river, creeks. The only thing, this is literally downtown Buckingham, and all you have is like literally horses, some cows, a gas station. I guess this used to be a barbershop, but it's not anymore. This is it. You are in downtown Buckingham right now. And practically there's an old building here. I think it's a barbershop. They just tore down a historic building on the left. Pretty sad. There's a gas station. Dollar General, and that's Buckingham. This is downtown. This is it. There's like horses on the right and cows on the right. They just sold this piece of land. I wonder what they're gonna do here. This piece of land right here, I think it's just sold, if I'm not mistaken. This piece of land on the left. We'll see what goes into there. And then there's Arcade, which used to be an old beat-up gas station. They turned it into I guess a little arcade place. And there's a community center right here. There's a little park here in Buckingham, a real nice park here. I haven't fished it yet, but there's a creek out back to that. In fact, there's people right now. They're getting their, you can see their car. They're getting 2 canoes out of that truck right there, so they're gonna go canoeing in that little park right there. I haven't really done much of that. There's a Confederate gravesite here. I think there's a pirate. And that sounds crazy, but there's a pirate. Confederate soldiers and pirates and stuff right here. Sometimes they'll have the Confederate flag up right here at this gravesite right here. Basically, there's a story about a pirate, basically. I guess this guy used to like steal from the boats off of the Caloosahatchee River in the 1900s. So this is kind of like a Confederate, gravesite. Big, beautiful houses here on Cemetery Road. And Cemetery Road will take us right into Lehigh, so we'll do that right now. But Yeah, the guy was a pirate or something. He would run up to the Lusassi River and rob boats and then bring the loot further inland to this area. So, kind of interesting local history. That's pretty cool. You got some big oak trees here. There's usually cows, you know, underneath the oak trees. So all these people here, they got cows and horses and stuff. You'll see the Confederate flags here. So right here, this guy's got a bunch of cool cars, man. He's got a bunch of, I don't know what the crap they are. He's got like 20 antique cars on his front lawn. So Buckingham is pretty rural, but it's weird because you have like this rural feel, but it's also suburban. So there's like a lot of this area in here is mostly I think people that have been here for a while, like they're actually locals. And once you hop into the other section over there, now that's a single family home. I know it looks like a community, but it's a single house going in right there. Unbelievable. It's like I thought they were building I thought they were going to put in 40 houses when they started working on that project, but it's one single house. It is just that big. Looks like it's on about 10 acres or something. I'm not sure. But I thought it was going to be a whole community. Nope. One single house. You see they're building a house here. So in here, this is the first section of Lehigh starts right here on the left. This is called the Buckingham section. So it's in a Fort Myers. It's kind of confusing. You have a Fort Myers address. You have a Lehigh Acres plot, but everybody calls it the Buckingham section of Lehigh. So I guess there's not really a lot of room in Buckingham. So like one section of Lehigh, the furthest section of Lehigh is actually considered part of Buckingham. And it's demographically very similar to Buckingham. But if you go 2 blocks that way, you enter like what's really Lehigh. So everything to the right is still Buckingham. Once we cross into here, it's Lehigh. But again, it's called the Buckingham section of Lehigh. So technically, we're in Lehigh as far as the layout, the plot of the area. We're plotted for Lehigh here, but we're kind of, you know, it's plotted for Lehigh. It's kind of Buckingham. So we're in a parallel cemetery road, which we're on, and eventually we're gonna hop over into Lehigh Acres. But we're kind of technically in Lehigh. It's very confusing. This area is growing very fast. The amount of houses they're putting in here is ridiculous. Not sure what's up with the litter. You can see it's still beautiful, big oak trees, kind of rural. But here, these are 1/4 acre plots. 1/4 acre to 1/3 of an acre at most. Some people buy 2 lots and join the strap number, and then they get 1/2 an acre. Very rural, quiet area. Lots of homes going in. See a lot of big mud trucks, a lot of ATVs, a lot of 4-wheelers and stuff like that. It's a very it's a fun place. I've liked it. I've lived here for just about a year now, and I really like this place. I actually like living here more than living in Naples. The only thing I don't like about living out here is that you really have no access to anything as far as restaurants. Like we go to Buckingham Farms, and grow up in Naples, you just have so many restaurants to go to. So this is Kitty Hawk. This will take us right out to Lehigh Acres. You can see people doing donuts and burnouts on the road. Let's hop on over this way. Beautiful day, kind of hot. Temperature's 93 degrees. Today is garbage day, so there's a lot of crap out. If you watch the news, there's a guy that got hit by a car on an ATV. No, he was on a dirt bike, but he didn't have any headlights on. That happened right over here. I'll show you guys. And you think it's garbage day. There's a lot of consumerism, so you see all types. People get rid of all types of crap out here. This house right here is for rent, and it's been for rent for a while. There's probably 7 of these houses for rent. They're not going anywhere. They're renting for about $2,500 a month. So right here's where that was on the news, where the guy got hit by the car, and the car was a hit and run. Now we're fishing in Lehigh. You saw me cross that canal. Welcome to Lehigh Acres. So on that side it's 90% white. On this side it's like 80% Hispanic. So that canal separates Lehigh from Buckingham. So when you cross over here, the demographics even change dramatically. So it's a little bit different. Now they're building houses on both sides. Hard to tell which side's growing faster, but you see there's a lot more litter here. Now I don't think it's the people that live here that litter. I think it's people that transient through here, because this is the only way to come in through this side of Lehigh. There's no traffic now because it's 2 in the afternoon, but 6:30 at night, this place is packed. You see they're building a lot of houses, and lots of construction. But I really don't think this litter is the people that live here. I think it's people that come through here. And Lehigh's kind of weird. Like, this area here is mostly Hispanic. And there's a section south of here that's like 90% Hispanic. And then there's sections, like, it's kind of, every section has its own unique makeup. They're not all the same. Doesn't matter to me, but just so you understand how this place is laid out. Let's keep riding through here. So we're heading towards Sunshine now. So we're in the northwest side of Lehigh. Take Queen right here. You see there's a bunch of litter and crap everywhere. People doing donuts and peeling out. And, this used to be like a really wild place, but it's calmed down over the years. And right now, they're building more houses, and a lot of the new houses they're building are going up for rent. That's going to change everything dramatically. It's going to give this place a completely different makeup. But you can see there's more litter on this side, lots of litter. When you get more home ownership, people take care of the area better. Like the Buckingham section where we started was a little bit cleaner, but there's more home ownership. Here it's more rentals. People seem to care a lot less when they're renting. There's still homeowners. You can tell when they're homeowners. Like this one here, you can just tell they're homeowners just because their yard's so nice. You can almost tell when they're homeowners and when they're rented just by looking at the house. You can see trails on the side of the road there for ATVs and stuff people make. Trails on the left. So now we're at Queen and 59th. This is a far. I'm just gonna assume this car's gonna turn yet. It didn't have a turn signal on, but neither did we. So this is kind of like one of the most kind of remote parts of Lehigh. Around here, you can see this one's a homeowner. He's got a fenced-in yard. You can just tell by what they got going on if they're rented or they're homeowners. For the most part. Because right now it's only 2 in the afternoon, so it's not a lot of traffic. But 5:36. This is like a highway at 5:36. Everybody that works back here, there's not too many. Lehigh, one of the downsides of Lehigh is that there's not too much. It's not really well planned as far as like major. They need like Sunshine doesn't go out to 80. I think if Sunshine went out to 80, it would alleviate traffic through here 40% during the daytime, during peak hours. I don't understand why Lehigh, they've purposely made it so inaccessible. But at the end of the day, it would make sense for Sunshine to go all the way to 80, and it would be great for everybody that lives back here. Because then these streets here wouldn't have all this ridiculous amount of traffic. Like, this is not even it's not a major road, it's just a regular residential street, but during the day, this street becomes a major doorway because there's just no other way of getting through here. Literally, if you live up here, the only way to get in is right through there. You got to go all through Buckingham, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, all to those streets to get back here. And it could easily be alleviated just by simply opening up Sunshine to 80, but type of property tracks are in the way or whatnot. Taxis. Oh, U.S. mail. Okay. There's a lot of minivan taxis here in Fort Myers area, especially in the state of Fort Myers. You can see they're building houses like crazy. So this is Sunshine. Sunshine dead ends to the left. It would make a whole lot more sense if Sunshine didn't do that. If Sunshine kind of kept going to Highway 80, it would make so much sense. Right now it's dead. Later on in the day, this is a major road as well. Excuse me. So to the left of us is Greenbrier section. That's one of the most remote rural, but they're putting in so many houses back there, it's gonna change. Here's the fire station. I think what I'm gonna do today is, instead of driving through, I want to go into Greenbrier. I like Greenbrier, but I want to keep going. Oh crap! I'll go, man. I really like coming back here. All right, there we go. I was supposed to keep going into town, but we'll go through here. This is Greenbrier now. Greenbrier section. This section here has a lot of kind of more remote parts to it. But man, they have started building so many houses out here, it's crazy. No internet out here, that's good. You have to have, I have a hotspot. Not a hotspot, they call it a hotbox, whatever the crap. Horrible internet connection. See a new house right there. Not bad. But see, they build them and they kind of sit after they build them. They put them up for rent or whatever. I don't know, I think it's moving kind of slow. Dixie Avenue right here. Ciruela plant right there. It's called Spanish plum or hog plum. Good fruit. I'm gonna swing around. Hop on over to Greenbrier. Get into Greenbrier. We missed the road. We missed the road going to Greenbrier. It's back this way. So it kind of looks kind of deserty out here and kind of just beautiful. Kind of semi-arid almost. I like it. That's kind of weird. They're putting in dirt to build a foundation for a house, but it's fenced in. Technically, you're not supposed to fence it in, so you've got a building permit. So that's kind of weird. Not sure how that happened. I'm gonna go real slow. I don't want to get this car dirty on this dirt road. But as you can imagine, these dirt roads can be a lot of fun if you got the right ride. A lot of Lehigh used to be just like this. They've started paving a lot of roads, man. But it used to all be like this. It used to be all dirt roads, sparsely laid out houses. You wonder why there were so many home invasions. It was kind of a perfect layout for it. Most people have to go commute in Naples. They're gone all day. But it's changing. There's definitely a lot more going on here these days than back then. Lots of houses being built. But I find it in the year that I've been here, I even closed down my junk removal business because there's not enough traffic. There's just everybody. I think people here are really they're trying to live a suburban lifestyle, but they just can't. I don't understand it. It seems like to me that there's just people are trying to live a suburban lifestyle and they're pushing their budget so hard to make it happen that they don't have on the corner of Wentworth and Rush. I feel like people are just pushing their budget too far to make this suburban dream happen, man. You know, and then they're stuck with just not being able to afford the lifestyle they created. A lot of money for services because in Naples, man, Both in Naples and Alabama, my junk removal gig was very successful. But out here, it's been man, it's been difficult to the point where I closed the business. I lived off it in Naples. I did really well in Alabama with it. But here, man, people just don't have the money. People are just living they're really crunching numbers. They're trying to pay off their mortgage. Who knows? They're building a lot of houses through here, but I'm gonna turn around. I love coming through. You'll see a lot of gopher tortoises. It's kind of remote through here. Some of these roads are really remote. And this is what Lehigh Acres was all like this. This is just a few areas that are left. There's even wild hogs out here. If you guys remember a while back, I uploaded a video showing some wild hogs. The swampier areas back in here. Somebody just dumped a bunch of dump truck tires right there. That used to be a huge problem in Lehigh. People dumping dump truck tires. A huge problem. But nowadays you see less of it. I think it's a pretty crappy person who does that. I can already see the person doing it in my head. He's 45 years old. He's Cuban. He's got a beer belly. He's wearing some dirty boots, and he's coming out here in a white Ford F-350 full of air compressors and probably drunk off his head throwing tires out in the woods. That's what I imagine a piece of crap looking like. Un viejo oso borracho, camionero susurroso, bestia pata. There's one right here. Just threw dump truck tires over there. A bunch of them. Okay, guys. So, there's new garbage on the road up here. That wasn't there recently. So it seems like there's a recent littering and dumping. This crap's like right in the middle of the road. Look at this crap. They just came and threw it right in the middle of the road. Unbelievable, you know? Like, who does that, bro? Like, you know, like, there's a landfill in Buckingham, and it would literally cost them $5 to throw this away at the landfill. I'm not even exaggerating. That's what it would cost to take that to the landfill. But they come out here and throw it on these roads, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's literally like. And sometimes I feel like it's the same contractors trying to buy lots. They'll come in here and they'll send their workers to dump garbage in an area to make it look trashy, to try to convince the people selling the lots to sell them for cheaper. I think that's possible. I'm not saying that's the case because I have no evidence. That's just my own personal hypothesis. And like that wasn't there a week ago, so that's recent right there. That's recent, dude. That wasn't there a week ago. Neither was the other pile. So this is new stuff. It would literally cost you $12 to dump that at the Buckingham landfill. That's how much it would cost to get rid of that. But they would rather come out here and dump it in these woods. You know, it takes a real piece of crap person to do that, bro. Un muerto de hambre pesta pata. You know, because like that was my business, was junk removal, and I quit it because the customers don't want to pay. It's ironic that we bump into that while we're having this conversation. The customers don't want to pay because they don't have money. You know. I think living in Lehigh today, it's definitely improving. But, well, 95% of people are good, hardworking people. You still have that element, you know what I mean? You still have that little trashy element like you would anywhere. It's not as bad as it used to be, though. Lehigh used to be bad with a lot of dumping and littering. It used to be a lot worse. I think as they put in more houses, keep jacking up rents, all the broke muerto de hambre, so we're going to have to find somewhere else to live. If you're buying empty lots out here, there's a lot of protected turtles. You have to pay attention to that. There's lots of protected turtles out here. They're gopher tortoises. If they're on your land, you can't build. There's a lot of them out here in this little area, so it's something to look out for before you buy a piece of land. They're clearing lots, man. They're building out here. Brush. Let's take this out. it's a good place to live, man. I haven't had, for being out here for 1 year, it really, you can definitely get in trouble if you're looking for it. But if you just stick to yourself, kind of like throw people to the side, don't, you know, just kind of mind your own business, you'll be all right out here. Because I've been out here for a year, and I haven't had no problems. I haven't had to call law enforcement for anything. I haven't seen law enforcement on my street for anything. It's been very, very, very good time, I would say, in this area. Biggest problems, I think, out here is just people dumping and littering like that. And you do have to look out for problem properties. What I would do if I were buying out here, I think every like square mile or so, there's one house that's a problem house. I would just talk to the sheriff's office and say, in this little neighborhood, are there any problem houses? Any house that's had 3 or 4 calls in the last year? And you'll know, because even in the section that I live, there's 3 or 4 houses that are, you know, kind of more active. You wouldn't want to live next door to one of those people, but if they're 3 or 4 blocks away, hey, it doesn't even exist in your mind. But for the most part, very peaceful, quiet. Haven't really had haven't been victimized of a crime since I've been out here. Really, it's been pretty chill for the most part. This is like a scrapper. Got some scrap metal and some garbage. So this guy's doing like some landscaping or something. So I'd say it's pretty quiet, man. You just find a quiet corner. And there's parts of Lehigh that are more urban, more built up. And I can't really speak on that because I haven't lived out there. But out here, as long as you don't end up with a trouble house next door, you're pretty good. And I can say that for every 1 square mile, there's probably 3 or 4 houses you probably don't want to be next to. For the most part, man, you just do whatever the crap you want out here. I mean, this is literally a place where if you just mind your own business, nobody bothers you. I would say it's been pretty good. And you know, back when I made my first, there's more dumping here going on right there. So it seems like there's a lot of dumping going on, and there's a huge correlation between all this dumping and all these new houses going in. Huge correlation. As soon as they start putting in new houses, they start dumping. And like I said, I really feel like there's a connection. I don't know how, but there's a connection between the two. Seems like when they start building houses, they start muscling their way in. This house is kind of weird. They got metal bars on the windows, doors, everything. Yeah, you don't go through the money. You don't spend $3,000 on putting metal bars up. And a lot of the older houses have, the newer houses don't because they have these new impact windows, so you don't need it. But a lot of the older houses are gonna have like metal bars on the windows, and around the air conditioners too. A lot of the older houses are gonna have it. This is an older house here, doesn't have it, but not all of them, but a lot of the older houses are gonna have metal bars. So back then, it was definitely a different place back then, but it's changing for the better. It really is. I think eventually, if prices continue to go up, just a trashier, poor element that's been really, people go dumping, and those people, they're gonna have to find a different path. Eventually, they're not gonna be able to afford to live out here. They just keep building new houses everywhere, bigger, newer houses. You know, beautiful mango trees right there. Are they mangoes? Yeah, they're mangoes. That's a pretty house right there. Alright guys, there it is. That's Lehigh Acres. Living here, I would say in the last year that I've been here, it's been pretty nice. Not as dangerous as I thought it would be. The real inconvenience of living out here is just getting the stores and stuff. Everything's far. Work is far. There's really nothing out here. I looked forward to the day they put in more stuff out here, you know, and that people have the ability to kind of spend a little bit more. But alright guys, checking out from Sunshine and 17th Street West.